Chapter 9. What's stopping you? The opposite of courage in our society is not cowardice, it's conformity. Rollo May. Conformity leads us to become incapable of thinking outside the box. Or worse still, it teaches us to create non-existent boxes. We stunt our lives and growth to within the limits of our imaginary confines. There is a story of baby fish that were put in a large tank. One half of the tank was blocked by a big sheet of glass, so that they could only swim in the other half. When they had grown to become adult fish, the sheet of glass was taken away. Now, instead of using the whole tank, the adult fish continued to only use the half that had previously been available to them. They had learned when tiny that a barrier existed, but were unable to adapt to a new reality after that barrier was removed. There is a similar story about how the mahout trains the baby elephant. A baby elephant is placed on a chain that is staked in the ground. The chain is substantial enough to stop him pulling it out. Every time the baby elephant tries to go its own way or break free from its restraints, he can't. He's stuck. After many attempts, trying and getting nowhere, the little elephant eventually gives up. He believes he can't get away and so stops trying. When the elephant grows to full size, he still thinks the chain is stronger than he is, although he could now easily break free with just one pull. He has learned that being chained means being trapped. The size of the chain is irrelevant. He doesn't even try to break free because he believes he can't. Learned helplessness. Learned helplessness is a term coined by psychologist Dr. Martin Seligman, who has done groundbreaking research into depression and anxiety. He identified 3 elements linked to pessimistic thinking. Permanent. Things will always be this way. Pervasive. That is, I will experience this wherever I am. And personal. It's my fault and I am to blame. This same process of learned helplessness keeps us humans stuck with the results that we do not want in our lives. Like the fish and the elephant, we do not see that the barrier has gone and how easily we could break free. What makes it even harder is that we are often surrounded by people who believe in the same imaginary barriers, all agreeing with each other that these barriers are real and that someone who tries to break free is wrong, bad, selfish, foolish, or all of these things and worse. Rather than be rejected by those we love, we conform, even if that means never living life in a way that is true to ourselves. We are chained and not free to enjoy the experiences we could. Therefore, when we contemplate becoming someone different, we understand that there will be some negative consequences. People who are part of our lives might not want to come with us, and this can be painful and frightening. Such fear can be overwhelming. Fear stops many of us from leading the lives we want. We fear what other people will think and feel and do if we change. We understand that to be successful we need to operate on a whole new different level, but fear others' reactions. We fear not conforming and being different. Your financial neighbourhood. There is a concept called the financial neighbourhood, which suggests you earn pretty much the same as your closest family, friends and associates. So how do you think your friends and family would think, feel and act if you added 2 or even 3 zeros to your annual household income? Do you think things would change? People who choose to have all the money they want in their life have made a choice. To make this choice, you are likely to evolve into someone very different from those around you. Your beliefs and values will have to realign. The consequences of committing to this mean you will have to completely change who you are, and of course this is frightening. Fear of success. People look at me in disbelief when I say fear of success can stop people having the money they want in their life. However, when we truly understand success, this makes more sense. In order to become successful, there are life consequences. You would have to consistently adopt the beliefs, values, feelings, thoughts, decisions, and actions of a successful person. How would that impact your life now if you chose to do those things? What impact would your decision have on the lives of your family, friends, work colleagues, etc.? Fear of failure. This is a very real fear for many. They think, what if I change everything, take all of these huge risks and it doesn't work out? Everybody will tell me that they told me so, or worse. The truth is, it won't work out in any way as you envisaged. When we jump to the next level and work on new skills, we all make mistakes and spend time failing before we figure out how to get it right. The trick is to keep going. Keep taking the next small step, even when nothing seems to be working and we feel discouraged. When you commit to making a change in your money mindset, you will be choosing success over failure and will learn how to turn things around, even when they don't go according to plan. Every little step you take in the right direction, every little shift in your money mindset over time builds up to a big change and even more financial success. You are never a failure when you keep going and working to make the changes you need. You are only a failure if you give up. Like the old saying, quitters never win and winners never quit. Too lazy. The reason we don't have the wealth we want in our lives is often because we are too lazy. And by this I mean putting in the hard work to change. You have to confront and blast through whatever it is holding you back, which frequently turns out to be what David Neagle calls the excuse. That is the reason or excuse that you are using to let yourself off the hook. For you, it might be a lack of education, time or skills, or where you live, or in fact anything that you are believing to be a barrier to your financial success. Sustaining the motivation and challenging yourself to do something different is hard work and it takes serious gumption. It takes a lot of determination to change your money mindset and to choose to take total responsibility for your financial success. It means focusing your efforts every day on using your existing money with intention and figuring out ways to create more. Other priorities. Another reason we don't have the financial success we want is because we believe other priorities get in the way. Some say, I'd rather be happy than have money. But this statement is a poor money mindset from someone who is happier without financial success than with challenging themselves. And this is absolutely fine as long as they don't resent their lack of financial success or others who have pushed themselves to become successful. Sometimes people use the excuse that they are too busy to sort their finances, or they don't have time to look for a new job or start a business. These are excuses and not real reasons. If someone wants to become more financially successful badly enough, they will find a way to make the changes. Illness, childcare, and coming from a poor background. Caring for others forms a big part of life for some people who care day to day for dependents, perhaps children or an elderly relative. Others may not be well themselves. No matter what is happening, someone can choose to make good or poor decisions with the money they have. They can decide to give up and believe that their financial success is at the mercy of their children or an elderly relative, their own health, or anything else. In reality, we know of many people who succeed in tough situations. J.K. Rowling was a broke single parent. Oprah Winfrey had a very poor and troubled background. And Mark Pearson, who founded myvouchercodes.co.uk and ended up with a company worth $100 million, grew up in a council flat in Liverpool. We make a choice about who we aspire to be and what we are willing to do to become that person. I wonder how different the world would be if Martin Luther King, Stephen Hawking, Nelson Mandela, or the scores of people with the odds firmly stacked against them, had just fallen back on their excuse and chose never to pursue their ideals. Action steps. Spotting what is stopping you. Number 1, identify your excuse. This is the next immediate barrier you see to your financial success. For example, the market is saturated for the product I'm selling. I'm no good with numbers. I don't know what to do. There are as many individual excuses as there are individuals in the world. Number 2, working on that barrier is your next step. If your excuse is, I'm no good at IT or selling, then you need to work on that. Number 3, repeat steps 1 and 2 over and over, tackling a new excuse every time. After a period of time, you will become incredibly successful.